Hello, and welcome to the 9 to 5 Casual Podcast, where we talk to entrepreneurs on the rise and young business professionals in a trending business profession. So if you're ready to gain insights on what it is to be an entrepreneur, this is the right podcast for you. Thanks for joining.
All right, so I guess we can just kind of all go around and just kind of introduce each other to let everybody know what we do outside of this podcast. I guess I can start. My name is Victor. I'm a account manager by day. When I'm not doing that, I'm a videographer, editor. So that's what I do. And Didi, can you tell people what you do?
Well, I'm a crude accountant by day, a writer by night, and a jokester for fun. So I'm really excited to be a part of this podcast.
Hi, my name is Peju. I'm currently studying computer science, doing my master's in school right now. And when I'm not doing that, I do a lot of babysitting.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Nanila, and I'm an IT professional, and I'm happy to be here. Kind of shaky right now.
Okay, cool.
This is
You
my
got
first
this,
time.
girl.
You got it.
All right, my name is Nathaniel. I'm a pharmacist by day, future dad.
Congratulations.
I do a little bit of everything. I'm a musician. I love sports, very into soccer, and I do a little marketing on the side, a little coaching, motivating people.
You got a nice side hustle going too.
Yeah.
Jack of all
I saw the numbers
Yep.
today, bro. You're doing some
Jack
big
of
things,
all
man.
trades.
Trying.
Yeah,
And I'm glad to be here. It'll be fun, guys.
cool.
Hi everyone, my name is Ulaku, and 9 to 5, I'm a project manager, scrum master. When I'm not doing that, I'm an event planner.
Very nice.
Okay.
What is your other name? Because people may want to call you by something else.
Hey, you can call me. You can call me Ulaku, you can call me Ula, you can call me Doris, and shit, whatever floats your boat, I'll answer.
All right, cool. So what do we have next on our?
So,
what are we talking about today?
2020 has been a year, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
With
Tell me about
with
it.
This pandemic
like
and
4 years.
everything, So how's everyone coping with that?
Well, I mean, for me, I guess we can just start talking about what we've been doing since
Right.
the whole thing started, since the whole lockdown started. What I've been doing is just basically just finding ways to better myself, because I wanted to come out of the pandemic a better person and a better and upgrade my side hustle, basically. So that's what I've been working on this podcast, as y'all can see, and working on my videography gigs and making sure, once the pandemic is over, I set myself up in a way where, I'm better, basically.
Yeah.
It's very important to gain new skills during this time, because we
Yeah,
have a lot
yeah.
of time off. So
Yeah, actually, one of the things that I was doing was I was learning how to really do audio. Like I've been doing videography for a while, but I didn't realize like how much of a novice I was when it comes to like audio technology. Like I had to learn everything from scratch. So this was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
it's been fun for me. I've gone closer to my dog. I know all her secrets.
I'm
You know,
sorry,
that's
she's
Roxy.
a dog lover. She
So
loves
cute.
her dog.
What's that dog's name again?
Roxy?
Did you just get the dog?
No, I've had her for almost 3 years. I
Oh,
think
wow.
3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I learned all her secrets and everything. So,
You
A
learn
dog
all
has
You got
that.
secrets?
yeah.
I don't do dogs. I'm sorry.
Seriously.
I love dogs,
But,
though, but indeed.
What kind of secrets would you like to share?
It's private between
But
my
guess
dog
what?
and
If
I.
it's a secret, then
Yeah,
Well,
sorry,
right,
exactly.
What is a dog,
But
though?
thank
Dog.
you.
no,
Thank
It's
you.
a dog.
she said secret.
Yes.
Let it
secret.
go.
Exactly.
So, Paige,
Oh.
what have you been?
That's not all.
Oh, okay.
Let her keep going. She wants to dive in.
I've seen Indeed throughout the whole lockdown.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
people don't know me.
Okay.
So I'm picking up some new skills. I decided to renovate my apartment. I painted a whole wall
Okay.
by myself. I
She
went
was
to Home
bored.
Depot, got tape, and I painted it a different color. Very proud of myself, actually.
Good job.
Can you do that?
I did it. I have pictures and video and everything.
Can
to
we
show
see
you.
it later?
Your
maybe,
apartment let
yeah.
you do that?
I'm gonna paint it back before I leave.
Before you
Right.
leave.
That's why I asked if you can do that.
Well,
Okay.
apartment?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
But you
Yeah,
have to
and you
paint
just
it
paint
A
it
back.
different
back.
color.
You don't have to
Yeah.
put
Yeah,
it
you
back.
can't.
You don't-
You don't
She
have
has to paint it back.
Nah, she
I,
don't.
no,
have to.
you do.
Yes,
I
you
remember
do.
one time I was told you can paint your apartment another color, but you have to paint it.
I think they fine you though. Like if you don't paint it back,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
they?
but I
Yeah.
bought the paint, the original paint back.
Yeah,
so,
What,
yeah.
$20?
I bought the original paint back. So, I mean, and then I started learning a new language, Spanish.
Oh,
So I'm just curious.
nice.
What color
Okay.
did you go from? What was the access?
So it
to
was
the two?
a basic, like, almost beige. I
Uh-huh.
went to gray.
Ooh, okay.
I like
Gray.
gray.
and I bought
Modern,
paint. Yeah, I
okay.
was renovating. I was
Interesting.
So, I wanted to change things up. So
Okay, that's good.
then I'm learning Spanish right now.
Okay.
I'm working
Nice.
on my writing. I
Okay.
write short stories. So
Okay.
I'm
She's a
writing more.
great writer, by the way.
Actually,
Okay.
not wanting to,
Okay.
like, toot my horn, but
But she's very
so-
shy.
Yeah,
very
she's
shy. So
she hasn't
this-
let her projects
this is
out
like
yet.
stepping out of my comfort zone. This
That's
is podcast.
good.
This is out of way out of
I
my
need
comfort
some
zone too.
writing
Everybody.
help on my website.
So-
So,
so
here
what-
we go.
So what's your favorite Spanish word?
I was gonna ask you.
Okay, cansada.
What does that
what's-
mean?
Is that?
I think
Tired.
that's tired or something.
Cansada.
Oh, I have to
What?
Google
Are
that
you
one.
always
It's not my
Yeah,
favorite
it's
word.
tired.
I just said it. I think
I
that's
speak a
tired.
little Spanish too.
I know you do.
What
That's,
Oh,
that's
Nate
tired,
speaks.
right?
You speak
Sometimes.
Italian,
I
huh?
speak 4
You
languages.
speak four.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
Nate.
dog.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nate.
Okay.
I already
Okay.
said he was a
Did I
jack
say
of
that
all
right?
trades.
Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know what suitcase is. Maleta. Coffee is cafe. Cup is taza. I'm learning some things,
Okay.
Very nice.
So,
Few
what about
words.
you,
So
Pedro?
what platform are you learning it on?
So there's an app called Duolingo.
Duolingo.
Okay.
It's awesome. I love it. You guys should try it. It's Duo Lingo.
Is it free?
It's free.
All right.
It's free. I've been learning it. Before I go
Really?
to bed, I play and I do courses.
Actually-
I read stories in Spanish. Like, it's awesome.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I
guys
should,
try
I should
it.
get back to getting better with French then, because it's been a while
Yeah.
since.
French is
That boat
top
sold a,
tier.
it sold a long
Top
time
tier
ago.
language.
No, I can really. I still speak French.
No, which is
Bonsoir, je m'appelle Nanila. Comment tu
very
t'appelles?
good. That's very
Merci
good. Y'all
beaucoup.
speak French in
I need
Nigeria?
no
pretty
food. Bon
good.
I don't speak
appetit.
English,
Oh.
but I grew up in Africa.
What about you, Pedro?
Yeah.
What you been
What
up
I've
to?
been doing since the pandemic, for me, more of a focus on my mental health, just so I don't get crazy being in the house all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I won't even lie. Like 3 weeks into the pandemic, I really lost myself. I was eating everything. I was just relaxing, eating everything, and then getting back on track. And me and Doris, were actually talking about for a little bit when the pandemic started. We were doing Zumba classes, and I joined just once because it was. I'm not gonna lie, it was really early in the morning, and I was fast asleep at that time. So focusing on mental health is just what I've been doing through the pandemic, and some personal things with school and with work that I'm about to start. I got an internship I'm about to start actually tomorrow.
Congrats.
Thank you.
All right.
So things
Internship
okay.
here in San Antonio, or
It's not in San Antonio.
Where?
I'm gonna be doing it in San Antonio now because of the
Oh, okay.
virus. It was
Okay.
supposed to be in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh.
It was gonna be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
They were gonna pay for pretty much everything, fly me out, get me an apartment. But now it's remote. How long? It was gonna be 12 weeks, but now it's 8.
Oh, okay.
man.
Because they had to push back to prepare for
oh wow.
the new
Very nice.
At
situation.
least you're still able to do it.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
Right.
Nanila,
Well, I mean, the whole lockdown just came out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
I've been working. It's like everything just changed. We woke up and our lives just changed in one day. So, I've been working from home with the kids. I'm a single mom. So I had to homeschool the kids and then work. So I'm in a call and then you have the kids running.
Yeah.
This one time I was in a meeting and my son comes. He's like, so I didn't mute my mic because I was the one talking.
Yeah.
He's like, mommy. I was like, mommy. He's like, you gave me the chicken and you gave me all bones with no meat.
Okay, that's embarrassing.
Yes, it was so embarrassing. So then the project manager on my project, he just busted out laughing. And I was like, can you give me 1 second? I paused my mic. I was like, Mui, I told you whenever you see my mic, whenever you see this headphone, don't say anything. I'll come give you all the meat you want to eat. So it's just been, hard with the kids. But then the first, I would say 4 weeks It was really hard for the first month, and then that was something that I had to get used to. And my job is great, so I mean, they know we have kids. Some people are single moms, and then at the same time too, I've been studying for some certifications.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
trying to go into 2021 making
Okay.
more money. And,
Going for that hundo.
Yes.
and then what?
That 100K.
Oh yeah,
100,000?
yeah.
Six
But
figures.
We're talking about
Six
figures,
Yeah,
man.
like that's what that's the goal right now. And
That
then
1 million.
What, I'm saying 7 though. I'm not doing 6 figures.
Yeah,
Hey.
1 million.
We're gonna get there. Like,
gonna get
let's
there,
get
girl.
The six.
We're going there.
I have confidence in you. You got this.
Thank you. So, and then I also been doing my wigs, as you all know.
Side hustle,
That's
yeah.
my
Side
side
hustle.
hustle. And then I also joined this
made
wellness
this
program.
wig, too.
I made that wig and I made this one.
Okay.
So
It's really good.
thank you. So yeah, I mean, you know, things just change, but hopefully we're able to get back to
Normalcy.
the way things
Yeah.
used
Yeah.
to be.
Hopefully soon. Yeah. Dr. Nate.
Well, my experience is all over the place. I was born and raised in Italy, so I have family and friends out there. So I kind of anticipated the lockdown. So observing them from social media, on Instagram and Facebook, they're already on lockdown. I never anticipated it coming
Yeah.
here to
I know
us.
Italy looked crazy
Yeah,
from the
it
beginning.
was
down?
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, especially in the north. But like I'm from the central part of Italy, so that part wasn't that affected. But I saw it coming, and during the lockdown, I had a lot of time to relax, just chill, quiet. In the pharmacy, we've done things like we haven't done in years. We've cleaned so much that the place looks so pristine. It was so quiet, and I actually enjoyed the peace and the change of pace at work. Right, while everybody was, San Antonio wasn't that affected that much, especially in the retail settings when people don't come to the pharmacy because of a lockdown. So we had a lot of time to do a lot of changes, and a lot of rules were uplifted. So like it's like okay, it's whatever now. It's a new way of doing things. So as far as staying home, I had no distractions as far as like sports and things like that. So I ventured in a new like side gig with a wellness company. And when I do things, I go in 100%. So I've been really passionate about it.
By the way,
And
just to cut you off real quick, like people don't realize
Sign
how
me up.
distracting sport is.
yes,
Like when sports was like a no-go, I was like, man, what's going on in this world, man? That's when it really hit me. Like there was no soccer, there was no
Yes.
basketball.
So you
I was
had
like,
time to
what is-
focus
So I
and
really had
think.
time to like lock in and like really like dig deep into what I wanted to accomplish
Yeah.
during the
Yeah.
lockdown. So yeah.
And now when everything is opening back up, I don't even know who's playing because Juventus played AC Milan
They
the other
sure
day,
did.
my favorite team, and I'm like,
Recently?
okay, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Did people watch them?
Well,
there was nobody.
There's nobody in the-
There's
like,
nobody
it's-
in the
it's
stadium.
empty
But like,
stadium.
It's
must be
it's starting back
depressing.
up, and it's weird to like kind of like getting back to normal and things
Yeah.
like that. But lockdown has been okay to me, I guess.
I stay
Right.
locked down anyways. So I don't go out.
At
like-
the beginning, also, I was just eating everything under
Yeah.
the sun,
Yeah.
just relaxing. But then there's a book I read 2 years ago. It's called 3 years ago, The Obesity Code, and talks about intermittent fasting. And I got really passionate about it again. So
okay.
I've already lost all my quarantine weight.
Wow.
Wow.
I see it's been working,
Lucky
man.
Yeah,
You look
yeah.
like you dropped.
Medium shirts are not
pounds.
fitting.
Okay,
So
okay.
Yeah.
my
Only
closet
Nate.
selection.
I'm actually
actually
reversed because
told-
like I'm putting on muscle mass during
Okay.
the lockdown because I've been working on
Working out.
building muscle. So it's like we're backwards. So you're dropping weight, I'm gaining weight.
But
So
that's what you want.
yeah,
anyway.
but that's what I wanted. You know, yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, Doris.
So for me, I feel like I was preparing for a lockdown in the sense that I was about to go maternity, like literally, like I had the baby the weekend, and
the
after
following
that
week.
1 week, the next, like I was in the hospital for 1 week because the baby had to be in NICU. Then once we came out on Sunday, like everything just
Oh,
went
wow.
down.
Yeah.
But you could see, like even from the hospital, you could see like things were changing. Like as at midweek, only one person can go into the NICU to go see the baby. Husband couldn't come. That had to be either
And
or.
what day did you have the
see
baby?
the baby though.
I had
really?
the baby on the
Yeah.
15th of March.
On the
So,
15th,
but things
okay.
were just with COVID. It became more pronounced. Like things were just changing as we go. So after that, we came home. The biggest thing for me was okay. Now I'm okay. The kids that I was thinking the kids are gonna go because I have 3 kids by the way. So I was thinking my 2 older kids are gonna go off to daycare while I'll be home and do my
Yeah.
maternity leave. Right, like that did not
No.
happen. We were all cooked things. So I'm like, you know
Everyone.
what? Am I really having a maternity leave? Like I'm not. But aside from that, like after a while, like you just have to. If anything, humans we're very resilient. Like
Yeah.
you have to. You
Very
just gotta
adaptive.
roll with the punches. So after that time, I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I started doing like pages. I started doing like the Zumba in the morning, which we
Yeah.
still do. By the way, every morning at 9:00.
I don't
We
join.
started doing Zumba every morning. It's Zoom.
I have a
They don't
meeting.
post the Zoom
but
code
I actually have
anymore.
a meeting at 9.
So we have a
that's
group,
why.
and it's just I did a reoccurring one.
Oh,
so instead
then
of
I missed it.
instead of telling people every morning, there's just one.
There's just
you
one
go in
permanent
and
one?
go work out.
Yeah.
So I do that in the morning. Then another thing I started doing too was my side business. I started one good thing about this lockdown is everybody and their grandmom has education going out. Like it's webinars, it's live
Something.
videos, it is something.
Certification.
So I've really just been honing in on my event planning. There's this, there's that. So I've just been really doing all that and also networking, meeting vendors and getting all
Yeah.
that contact together. So that's really what I've done for the lockdown. Now I'm back to work. I work from home because I'm in IT, but I still have to do the other stuff I do. So yeah. It's been interesting.
Very nice. So going back to what Nate was saying earlier, I know you mentioned what was going on during the lockdown and during the height of the pandemic. Like as a pharmacist, like what was the transition like going from, okay, today is a normal day at work and then boom, you wake up tomorrow, you get to work and it's like, hey, by the way, it's not going to be like that today because everything's going to change. So what was it like for you, like transitioning from, hey, how are you doing, customer, coming in, and then you're like, oh, don't talk to me
back.
because you may have, like, what was that transition like, man? Was it really awkward, like you talking to customers and like
Not
making
being
sure
able to
customers have
interact.
masks, not being
Yeah.
able to, like,
Well, I kind of like anticipated watching my friends from back in Europe.
Oh, okay.
So actually, before the company passed the mandatory mask wear, we actually I actually implemented it. I made it mandatory for all my staff to start wearing masks. And
like how soon, like like a week
like
before?
a week before. Like it
wow.
just so
Okay.
happened that after that week they made it mandatory. I told y'all.
Smart
So
move.
everybody was just complaining about masks at the beginning, but like eventually we all dealt with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's all type of different type of masks. But like when it came to the population coming in, it was just awkward. But the bottom line is that we were there for them, and we were being careful, protecting ourselves so that they could be protected as well. So actually during the lockdown, anything goes. So anybody can just come to the drive-through and say, hey man, I really don't want to come in, I'm scared of COVID, can you get me some ice cream? Even if it's the pharmacist, we just
wow.
go get it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of rules is just like uplifted. We were just there to support everybody coming in, trying to make sure that they're safe. We cleaned every hour on the clock. Keeping sanitized between every patient. So just like a self-awareness of being careful and caring for the people that are coming in.
Okay, nice. So I guess my next thing is like, so during the height of everything, or like from the jump, there must have been like a spike in like medications, like people trying to get prescriptions filled early on. How
Vitamin
was that?
C,
like,
vitamin
Yeah,
C.
because I mean, I'm speaking from experience because my daughter, she takes specific medications, and I know that when everything was happening really fast, I was like, hey, I told my wife, I was like, hey, let's get this medication filled like before this thing goes crazy. So what was that like at the pharmacy, like dealing with stuff like that?
It was crazy. When it first happened, it was just crazy. Everybody was just ordering medication, three months worth of medication.
Oh my god.
90-day supplies.
You just never know,
I would
right?
say I practice in a wealthy area, but this lady ordered $10,000 worth of medication.
What?
Because she was going to quarantine herself.
My
She wasn't
goodness.
coming out. I try to talk her out of it because I'm like, hey, I didn't know how serious this was going to get. So I told her, hey, you don't need to spend all this money. She's like, no, I want it.
Wow.
So people were doing that. And to the point that the state board actually act to regulate. When
Yeah.
President Trump mentioned hydroxychloroquine and the azithromycin, everybody started getting crazy and then prescribing it to
Oh,
friends
yeah,
and family. The state board caught on that and said, hey, in order for you to prescribe this medication, you need to have a diagnosis code.
Good.
You need to show me what it's for and things
So,
like
so
that.
like doctors were prescribing that without even knowing
Yes.
it worked, because nobody really knew that worked early on.
They were prescribing
actually
it.
work?
They were prescribing it willy
Oh,
nilly.
it does?
Yeah.
Well-
But that's what they. Let me leave Nate to talk about it. But I know that people have said that it works. If you
Well, there's not enough study to prove that effect.
Exactly. That's
and
what I
then
thought.
you have to be in an inpatient setting where doctors can actually monitor you
Right.
for signs and symptoms.
Okay.
It's not something that you just try and
over the
so
counter.
people that have heart problems, you can just try it and
Exactly.
die.
Yeah.
Right. So if you monitored, if you have the care of doctors and nurses, and then they give that a try. Some people have responded well to it, but most of the population, when it comes out to outpatient settings, no, it's not safe. There's a lot of contraindications, a lot of side effects that can actually be fatal.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But see, you say that, but see, the Nigerian in me, we're not scared because we're used to self-medication. So
that's true.
I went
you're
to
speaking grammar here.
I went to HEB. I was looking for ginger. I was like, wait, there's no ginger. Like there was no ginger.
Garlic ginger was going.
Ginger, honey
keep
was
garlic,
gone.
Garlic,
I keep
ginger.
garlic and ginger at home all the time. But when I went out, there was no. I mean, when I bought $15 worth of ginger, brought it home. The kids were like, "Mommy, ginger in the morning, ginger in the afternoon, ginger at night, garlic."
But you see, I don't think I went. I don't think I went that crazy. Like for us, because I was in the hospital, so we didn't do no shopping. So by the time we got a hand of it, we were like, you know what? We're just gonna roll with the punches. Like
Yeah.
we eat African food anyway.
Yeah.
So we had like
Yeah.
the basics. We had the
The
rice.
most
We're
confusing
like,
part
we're
was the toilet paper that was missing.
How did that go for
yeah,
everybody?
yeah.
Did anybody run out of toilet paper? Like,
So
That stressed me
So
out.
let me tell you something.
Use
I
water.
think my husband had like his spidey sense because just a week before, this guy goes to Costco and gets like the
Smart man.
you know, like the 24, and he gets like two. I'm
I
like,
did the
I
same
look at
too.
him. I'm like, wait. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why?
didn't get the memo.
And I forgot what excuse he gave me. So when he came, I'm like, you know what? I think you were on to
You're
something.
on-
But we ran out of paper towel though. Like
Eventually.
he had to
So-
do SOS to like our co-workers. Everybody was giving us
Hey,
one.
So I had the luxury of working in the pharmacy, so I know whenever the stuff comes in, so I can
look at you.
I could grab one or two.
Shop, shop.
My wife
Insider
would
trading.
send me.
Exactly.
My wife would send me, and I grab the stuff for her. That's like, but I actually bought something called Clear Rear.
What is that?
It's something that you put
Clear.
on the toilet, and it has settings for like hot and cold, so you don't really have to use toilet paper.
Huh?
I knows everything.
What's the
Isn't
name
it?
for it?
clear
It's-
It's like
rear.
a lot of Asian. Is it a douche?
No, it's like we have something called like the bidet in Italy.
Oh,
yeah.
that washes.
Bidet.
your
Right,
hands.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
so that's like a self-install. You put it on, and you don't really. It cleans better than
How's
toilet
the
paper.
texture?
Actually,
Yeah.
Into the toilet
you
bowl.
install it. It's very
But
easy.
what's
Anybody.
the texture?
Where
like-
can we get this?
I saw it on Instagram, and it was a joke at
wow.
first, you know.
Is the
but
water pressure effective enough to?
Oh,
get
yeah.
the- yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So I made a joke about it because I did stay at home challenge with like a roll of toilet paper. I was juggling with it, and a lot of people came at me because you're wasting gold, and I was like,
Even you, Victor,
The
you did
reach-
it too.
I did, yeah, I did the
Yeah.
toilet paper.
You don't
But I
need-
didn't waste it though. I
Well,
mean,
you
come
don't
on,
need
it
toilet
was
paper.
it was
I
definitely
think I
used.
made a comment.
Yeah.
You really don't need toilet paper. You have water and you have soap.
Ew.
Anyways.
But
I'm
see,
sorry,
but
it's
see,
on there.
no,
That's-
the
no, that's
only,
the last-
the only
last
reason you
resort.
say that is because we're African
Yes.
and we're
That's
used to that.
Yes.
Like other cultures,
That's
that's
climate.
We're not
That's
used to that in Nigeria.
No, yes.
Yes, we
yes,
are.
Water and soap.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
It cleans
Not
better.
in my Nigeria.
Yeah, but
Pedro,
well, guess what,
Pedro.
right? It all depends on the people where you
No.
grew up, what you
Yeah, it
around.
depends on where you
There's
grew
some
up.
cultures that really use that, even in public. I know some people who they take water bottles with them, and in public they do that. As
I
well.
use wipes, baby wipes. But I love that. It's way better than tissue.
Yeah.
So water.
What is
Yeah.
the last resort? Like if
But
you don't
baby
have
wipes,
any-
you shouldn't put that in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, you
So
can
how
put
do
it. You can put it in the trash.
Oh, there's the thing in the
Yeah. So if you have babies, then you have a diaper pail, so you're like convenient.
I'm thinking about in public because you can take baby wipes in public, but
It's funny.
The
But
women's
you know they have
bathrooms
the they have the flushable wipes,
Yeah,
so
that
you
you
can
can
get
use.
those.
Oh,
Yeah, they
I
have
did not know
flushables.
that at
Yeah,
all.
they have the
Yes.
flushable
It,
ones.
it's funny. It's funny what we make a priority. What we made a priority during this
Yeah.
this,
It's
crazy,
this
right?
lockdown, right?
Yeah, it was
Just-
crazy.
just
'cause
crazy.
It was paper towel, and then it moved to hair color, something.
What?
Yeah,
There-
it was, yeah, like people
People
trying to
will
dye their hair.
Dye
Yeah.
hair for what?
Why?
That was like the next
For fun.
wave
People
of,
like to
of
do that.
Yeah, like
Dye their
guess
hair
what,
a
right?
different
So
hoarding
color.
if
stuff.
if you were working in a job where you couldn't color your hair all
Oh,
this
yeah.
while,
Yeah.
now you
Now
have,
you have, yeah.
like you can go purple and pink because
Yep.
you don't
Yeah.
gotta
You're
go to
working from
work,
home.
right?
Quite
That's
interesting.
true.
What if you have
I don't have
video
to worry
calls?
about that.
Does that not matter?
Hey,
You don't have to say.
No, interesting. When I went on the video call for my job, I looked at some of the people and I'm like, golly, do I know you? Because
Yeah.
the barbershop was closed, so you had
Yeah.
people like you could really tell people's age. You were like, oh yeah.
How old you are?
I'm like, yeah, you mess with me, but I can.
So Nate, what else do you think changed, during the pandemic at your job, like in the day of your?
Oh, definitely the way we see things, people's interaction, and just safety. Like Pedro said about mental health, there's a lot of people concerned about this coronavirus because we don't know for sure everything about it. So a lot of people are very scared. What can I say?
Like
it's
anything,
just,
did you have any like crazy days? Like one day you just went to work and you just like, man, today this crazy customer came in, and like during the pandemic, anything crazy out of the ordinary happened that
honestly,
you were like, man,
honestly, our customer service got way better during the pandemic because a lot of people were just looking at us and just appreciated the fact that we were there for them. Right. So now that the state is opening back up again, all those hard customers are coming out
nice?
with the hard ones are coming out and they're throwing out the surveys. But like during the pandemic, it was just nice to see people like giving us great comment. Thank you for being there. A lot of people were just saying, hey, thank you for being there for us. Thank you for being there for us.
very nice.
And I think it made sense that would happen too, because if you think about it, the pandemic really it took us back to what is essential, right? Like back to family, back to life.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
everything
yes.
stopped. So you
Yes.
see, like you realize that you don't own nothing. Like you don't really like you don't have power. All the power
Yep.
you think you have. So you can see why people went back to being nice because who knows? You don't
Yeah.
know what's gonna happen tomorrow. You
Yeah,
might not
you really
make
don't.
it.
Definitely.
Let me go back to God.
Yeah.
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 So like I know that you recently got certified to be, or your pharmacist got certified to be a testing site or
Yeah,
something
so
like
I'm
that.
in charge of a team that goes off-site at long-term care facilities to test patients in there for COVID-19. The test is it's 10 minutes. So if it's positive, it'll come back in 2 minutes. Actually,
Oh wow.
yeah. If it's negative, it'll run the whole course. So the machine is in charge of detecting like some RNA and DNA that'll be matching with the COVID-19 virus. So if somebody's positive, it'll give you the results right away.
So, sorry. Is that a different type of testing? Because I know my mother-in-law and my husband had to go test, and they got their results back, like, let's say, a week later. So is that like an instant test? Is that like different kind of testing?
So the virus caught us all by surprise. So like the technology behind getting is still ongoing and evolving. So if somebody is experiencing symptoms, there's a checklist. So if you have more than 3 or 4 symptoms and you are like matching the criteria of COVID-19 symptoms, they'll give you the fast test. Right?
okay.
If you're
Okay.
not, then they'll give you the
longer one.
the longer
Is the longer
one.
one the one that is administered through your nose?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That one was
initially,
supposed to be full.
initially,
they had
yes.
to do that one.
So,
Looks horrible.
but with this new technology, we just do it at the surface, about like 1 inch in at the surface, and swab.
That's better.
That sounds like not counterintuitive, but it would seem one that's more internal would get you better results and faster, rather than one that's just on the surface.
Surface.
You know what? You're right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I don't know how that works. It's
Technology is
just
great.
really
The
weird,
machine
yeah.
is very, very, very
So
fancy.
speaking about symptoms, right? My sister, she had no idea she had the virus. So she called me and she was like, "Hey, I can't smell." So I was like, "Okay." She said, "I can't smell anything." The only reason why I told her to get tested was because I have a friend our friend in Maryland. She had it, but she one of her symptoms was she could not smell. So that's how I told my sister to go get tested. But the weird thing is she would go to work. She was like, I don't have no fever. I mean, my body's not aching. I'm fine. Everything's good. My only issue is I cannot smell. I feel good. So she did got tested. It took 48 hours for her, to get her result back. But you're saying is I could be, God forbid, I could have it.
You don't have it.
I don't want to hear that here.
It's okay. But not showing any symptoms, So if I'm not showing any symptoms, but what was my question?
Like, how do you know to
How do
go
I
in?
get tested? Because I have to, okay, you're not going to test me if I'm not having any symptoms, right? I think.
Well, that was initially. Now you can actually go on CVS.com. Oh, I work for CVS, so I know that you can just go on CVS.com and then put in your zip code. It'll give you the location of several
you
pharmacies
do that.
that are providing the test. So whether you're symptomatic or asymptomatic, you just go get the test, and it'll tell you if the insurance covers it, how long the test is gonna take, and things like that. So it's picking up. The business is picking up a lot. So. The companies are allotting resources for staff to be able to accommodate that. So if you want to get tests, you can just make an appointment to the drive-through. It's non-contact. You get your results in 4 business days. Like initially, it was it was about the people that needed it the most, and there was not enough resources. But now they're making actually waves. Matter of fact, there's a vaccine developing. The human trials are starting in July. So. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what the involvement is going to be with that.
Yeah. So like, I was gonna ask, like, have you already started running these tests already, or this is something that's gonna start soon?
For the vaccines?
No, not the vaccines, but like the test, the new
So-
technology. Yeah.
So the technology that we're using, actually, my first clinic is going to be on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, okay.
So last week was about training and getting the team
Okay,
together.
that's what I wanna
I
make
happen
sure.
to be off on Tuesday, so I can go out there because I was like kind of like the head coordinator, sending teams out there. But like I'm actually gonna have the opportunity to go out there, and I get hazard pay. So that's one of my-
Pay.
Hey,
that
hey,
money.
hey, I need to be like this guy.
I
here.
know. Making all that money.
Hazard pay.
I'm just curious when you say the vaccine is coming out, because I know that the UK already started some testing like a month ago. Have you guys heard about that? Are you guys looking into it?
So the vaccine comes in trials. Like they have like clinical trials first, and they have the human trials. So it's gonna take a while for a trustworthy vaccine to be developed. So that's why it's very important for us to be cautious, practice social distancing and mask and this and that. The vaccine will give you the peace of mind to be able to say, hey, I may catch COVID, but I may not die from it. Right. So it's just definitely very important to track carefully of what information is being thrown out there, because it's too soon to develop a vaccine that'll be 100% effective.
Yeah. And I just want to say, I think the clinical trial started, but the most disturbing thing, I think, is since people really want a vaccine, they don't really have the amount of time that they would usually use to test a vaccine. So even though it can deter you from getting COVID, there might be other
Side
effects that they might not know
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
And so, you just balance that.
So you don't want to
But
be the
apart
first
from
one.
that, I wanted to mention on Twitter, I found out that they actually have some states actually have free testing for coronavirus, and Texas is one of those states. So whether you have insurance or not, you can try to Google the places that offer free testing for corona, and you can get those tests.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Definitely.
how my family got tested. They
Yeah.
called. I think they called this number for a drive-through, and they had this questionnaire of all this thing they had to answer. And once they answered, they called them, like they will tell you, they will let you know. So I guess somebody goes and review all your answers,
Yeah.
and they called them and they scheduled something. It was a drive-through. They went and the results were out in a week.
Honestly, I haven't had any family member that had coronavirus, but has anybody here had any family member? I think,
Yeah.
Natalie, you mentioned earlier that you
Yeah.
had somebody.
Recently, I just
My-
found out.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
My grand aunt had it, and she died within 5 days.
Oh, wow.
And then another
old was she?
family, she was
Around, like,
she was
what?
65 in the 60s.
That's not too old.
No.
Yeah.
But she had diabetes, so
Yeah,
Underlying
she-
factor.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so she did, and then another a cousin wife also died. They both died the same day, but she was younger though. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And what state were they in?
My aunt was in Philadelphia, and this other lady was in Arizona. So
Wow. Sorry to
Yeah.
hear that.
yep. Yeah.
My husband lost an auntie as well. She was in Maryland.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah.
That I know of, I had my friend grandma in Italy that passed. You know, the grandma had it, she passed. The mom had it, nothing, and the daughter, which is my friend, she had it, but she was fine.
It's fine.
Wow. Yeah.
I just found out my aunt has it in Nigeria.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
But you know, Nigeria, I don't know, like, I
The healthcare
really,
system.
it sucks.
Yeah.
I feel bad
I mean, there are
saying
people,
that, but
they
like,
have the
Is it that
potential.
bad?
It's just some people.
I just
don't
really,
put it in.
I hope they can trust the test to make
Yeah.
sure that it's actually positive.
I
for
hope
corona.
not.
That's my concern, that the test is actually like saying the truth. Like,
But
I mean,
the thing is,
if
I
it's
think
not saying the truth, that would be good.
Yeah.
Because if it's false,
but apparently
Yeah.
she's doing well. She just, you know,
Like she's not
fighting,
showing
you know,
any,
she's
any
fi-
real
because
symptoms.
she's one of those people that she uses like Madagascar, she's very health conscious.
Uh-huh.
So her body is like fighting it. So
That's
it's
good.
not
How
having
old
a.
is she?
She should be in her 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, immunity is definitely something
Yep.
to be very, very, very conscious of. So taking your vitamin C, your zinc is very, very important. So supplement like emergency or activate C, whatever it is, try to get in every day. Make sure you stay hydrated also, because the water is very important
What's
for
the
your
max
bodily
on the
function.
emergency that we can take? The
It's
maximum?
1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and then it's combined with zinc. Zinc, you can do zinc sulfate, 220 milligrams, or you can just do 50 milligrams with just one tablet a day.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
No.
But back to what Indiji was saying, I think we are, when you talk about Nigeria, like my heart just dropped, because you have people till this day that think Corona is a big scam.
Oh,
Like literally, I'm not even making this up. Like, I think my husband saw a friend who posted his barbering shop, and he was like, "Hey, come on, guy, the barbers are all close to each other, nobody's wearing masks." And the guy straight up told him that Corona is not in Nigeria. And
Nigeria
I mean,
is too
Italy
hot.
Italy thought it was a joke too, but
Yeah,
look
they
at what
were
happened in
too.
Italy.
But guess what?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, right? We're talking about Italy here. Like Nigeria, we don't have the resources.
Right, right.
So it's for those countries, we should be even make sure we protect ourselves, because you don't even want to get exposed, because
Yeah.
where are you gonna go?
I heard some of
Yeah.
them are wearing the mask like decoration on their face,
Yeah.
like when you're in chin
It's
level
fashion.
now.
Yeah.
Fashion
And-
statement.
Chin level.
and
Let's even we'll take chin
That's
level.
what I heard too.
Let's take chin level.
I
That
don't
not
know.
even at all.
And even with the people, the countries that have the resources, they're struggling
They're
a lot.
struggling, yeah.
You know?
Imagine.
Then
Yeah.
imagine somebody who doesn't have,
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
guys.
You know, I saw like a thing online. The taxi was like one of those keke taxi kind of drivers. He has masks in his back seat, different kinds
That's
for his
good.
passengers.
That's really
no, it's not good. It's not
They're sharing it.
Everyone comes in and
Oh, it's a
use the mask,
reusable?
and you can leave. Reusable.
Oh,
Everyone
that's
uses
crazy.
it.
No, but guess what? He's protecting himself though. Because he's protected. Now you're sharing the mask. I don't know about y'all.
Facts.
That's very true.
Protected.
I saw that, I was like,
Y'all can do
what?
whatever y'all want to do.
Right.
It was
At
funny
work.
and sad though.
At work, they're actually auditing us, making sure that we're wearing a mask.
That's really
Because not only we're protecting ourselves, but we're protecting the public, because we come in touch with so many prescriptions. What if I was careless and decide not to wear a mask? I usually verify about 300, 400 prescriptions a day.
Wow.
I could potentially be exposing the whole community. So that's very, very
Easily.
important. You know, not only for yourself but for the people that you come in contact with. And some people take it to an extreme whereby they're outside jogging and then they're wearing a mask. If you're not in contact with somebody, then probably you don't need to wear a mask. This is actually a perfect setting for a mask. But I can trust that everybody here is
Yep.
responsible.
Yes.
And I've been taking quarantine very seriously.
I had
My
Chick-fil-A
sister
today.
here, Pedro here.
Very
She hasn't
seriously.
she hasn't seen outside since
Strict
when?
This
lockdown.
is my debut to the world again in like 3 months. Yeah.
She's been in lockdown.
I've been in
She's
lockdown,
been in
mandatory. Yeah.
mandatory.
Yeah, not because of coronavirus, but like just mandatory by
Yeah.
family values.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's good.
That's really good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you so
It's nice
much.
to see
It
your
feels
pretty
nice to
face.
breathe air, you know? It was really good.
So
All right.
this week has been very crazy. George
Yeah.
Floyd. What do you guys think about
We can
that?
last.
Man, I don't know.
Why do you
I don't even
think
know where to
this-
start. Like, honestly, I don't know where I was at when the video started going around on social media. Honestly, I've not watched the entire video. Like
Yeah.
to
You
this
don't need
day,
to watch
Me
it.
neither.
I was
recently
unable to.
Horrible.
saw it.
I tried, but
It's
man,
hard.
it's really sad,
Yeah.
man.
But you know, so many black people have been killed in this country. Why do you guys think George Floyd's case is getting the most uproar, like in the United States, all over the world, the whole world actually?
So somebody put it. I think Trayvon Noah put it nicely, right? You come from a pandemic. Everybody's home. People
Yep.
have lost their jobs.
pissed.
What we have now, we have time. So like we have time. We don't have to be at no job. So here we are, cooked up in the house. Everybody's on social media. Then you get this video. So we all had the time to consume it. We didn't have to go to work the next day. And another thing too that's interesting with this George Floyd for me is the fact that usually when a black person dies, they try to find like a counter news. They go pull up his record
Yes.
to say, oh, he had this traffic
Yes.
ticket, oh, he had this criminal
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
And now they start making you doubt, was he a good guy? Was he a bad guy? But for Floyd, we haven't seen that. So I think that was part of why people are so receptive and you're seeing all these people. And frankly, enough is enough. Like people are losing jobs. The
just
world is
tired.
changing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
racism has to go. So why not now, right?
Yeah, I just think. Sorry, cut you off, but I just think people are tired. Just like you said, people are really tired. It was like the perfect storm, really, if you think about it. You know, you have a situation where like you said, people are home, stuck at home. You're not, you got the stimulus check, only $1,200. That ain't gonna get you far. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you don't have a job. Okay, that's one thing. And then the video. I think the video itself just speaks
It's
volume.
just-
Like in terms of like. It was somebody. I heard somebody call it a modern day lynching, and I
Yes.
think that's
Caught
basically
on
what it
tape.
is.
Yeah.
What not only was it caught on tape, but like if you watch the cop that was actually doing
It's like
the
he had no
whole,
life in him.
like he was. Honestly, I thought he was possessed. Like
Yeah,
that's
evil.
his face, his body language, everything. I couldn't watch George Floyd, but I'm looking at the cop and I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Body language.
And his body language, like he was gone, like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I don't know if he was. I don't know what was going on in his head, but like 8 minutes and 46 seconds, like
That's crazy.
that is like insane to, and I felt like it was. This felt like it was more personal to me than anything,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
because
Yeah. Did
you guys-
I later on found
Did you
out
guys see the news
Yep.
recently?
Yep.
that
Yeah.
they've worked together before, so
Yeah.
this felt really like something must have
Somehow,
happened
yeah.
between them.
Something,
he took it
something did
personal.
happen. Something did happen.
See, I didn't even know
Yeah,
something
you know-
happened,
yeah.
but
know something that
So
happened?
yeah, so earlier on this week, there was they interviewed one of the co-workers. They said they work the same shift. Judge works inside. The guy, what's his name, Chauvinik, works outside. So the boss gives the check to George, and George hands the check out. So couple of times. The police guy has been offended that saying his check wasn't good, wasn't enough.
Okay.
But he was blaming Floyd instead of the
Oh.
business owner. And now there is, according in this interview they did, the business knows that there's track records of the cop being very, very biased to minorities.
Yeah.
Even the boss, even the owner of the company said she knew of him being biased to the minorities, but she didn't want to report it to the police department because she felt like he was one of the good guys. So if she reported, they were going to give her somebody worse. So there is something in there that's cooking up. So yeah, this
so
just
there's
came out
definitely
this week.
something else there
Right.
that we,
So it
it's
was
probably gonna-
personal then.
Right.
And then also, so I recently watched the video. I could not watch it the first time. I just skipped through. It was so sad because, I mean, he's laying on the floor.
Yeah.
You have your knee. You're just pressing hard. And
And there
you
were
could
two
tell
other
that he
cops
wasn't
as well
alive,
pressing on
right?
him, on his back and on his.
And then you had the other
leg.
cop standing there, like, just tell him, like, if I was a cop, I'm fighting you right there. You have to get off. Like, just leave. I think they all should go down for first degree murder. Doesn't matter.
Well,
if you
first degree murder has to be premeditated.
Yeah.
So, but
That's the
you can
thing.
still get him on second
is the
and
most
third.
likely that they'll get him for.
Well, let's see what happens. Will Smith said that racism is not getting worse; it's just getting filmed. Like she said, we are all here to witness this, and it's crazy. And it's
Absolutely.
So
madness.
imagine when it wasn't filmed, what they did.
Yeah.
Imagine the days of slavery.
One
When
of
it wasn't even when no
That's
one
what
would
I'm
even
saying.
talk
Imagine.
badly about it. Just imagine that.
my favorite rapper is Tupac, and if you listen to the words of the song "Changes," it'll tell you. And this song came out back in the 90s.
back.
90s.
And
yeah.
he's been warning us about this for a long time. So the fact that I didn't even speak English when I first
Came.
Listen,
listen to the song, but I would go on the internet and write out the lyrics based off the internet. And when I became familiar with the language, I'm like, wow, this is deep. And to see everything evolving right now, like people should really listen.
It's funny you mentioned that because I remember when I first came to this country in 1997, my uncle actually sat me down and talked to me about like interacting with cops. It was like, bro, you're a young black man in this country. This is not Nigeria, bro. You're in a new place now. Like the way cops see you here, white cops in particular, it's gonna be different. And I'm like, back then when he was talking to me, I'm like, you know, in my head, I'm like, what does he mean by this? Like, what's this conversation? Like, you know, I'm young, fresh out of Nigeria. I don't know what's going on. So it took until like a few interactions with white cops for me to realize what was going on, like how they see black people in this country. You know, dating back to one experience back in 2003 or 2004, my very first like extreme interaction with cops. You know, like keep in mind, like I've only been in this country maybe less than 10 years, so this is just my experience. I'm not even talking about African Americans that were born in this country. So this was like I'm leaving Missouri, right? I'm at the airport. I'm trying to fly back to Texas. You know, it was like I was going to school up there, so it was like, you know, a holiday. I think it was during Thanksgiving break or something like that. So I was flying back, and this was my experience. My very first encounter with like white cops. Not the first one. Sorry. My first extreme encounter, because I've been in situations before, but I've been able to like talk my way out of it. But this one was the first one. I was like, okay, this is real. You can go to jail. You know, I'm just minding my own business at the airport. I'm trying to, you know, board a plane or whatnot, you know, trying to enter into the airport. And all of a sudden, cops just rolled up. You know, my friend is dropping me off. So this 2 cops just rolled up on us like, okay, you guys get out the car right now. I'm like, get out. What do you mean get out? I don't know anything about anything. I'm just trying to go to the airport and fly. Get out. You fit this description. Stolen car, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait, what? Stolen what? I'm like, bruh. And keep in mind, this is Missouri. Back then, it was like, during that moment, I looked around. It was like maybe a handful of black people, including us at the airport at the time. You know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, before we can even say 2 words, I'm already like slammed against the squad car, handcuffed and everything. I can't even get 2 words in. Like, bro, ask me a question. Like, try to talk to me, man. Like, I'm not a criminal, bro. I'm a college student, man. I'm just trying to go home. This cop didn't want to hear it. Boom, like 2 of them, both of them. That was my first time seeing a shotgun, you know. Next thing you know, like handcuffed, boom, in the back of the squad car. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm handcuffed. I can't go home. I mean, I'm trying to talk to the cop like, hey, bro, like, talk to me. And then something just went off in my head, like all those like things that my uncle taught me back then, like, hey, Victor, these people can ruin your life, like, and they can get away with it. Not only can they ruin your life, they can take you to jail for nothing at all. And this is happening. This is still happening till this day. Like, they can take you to jail. They can destroy your life, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I was like, man, I looked at everything. I was like, man, I want to go home, man. That's all. Everything was like, Victor, just make it home. Make it home that day, and you can, whatever happens here, you can sort it out later. But make sure you don't make it to jail, because I didn't want to go to jail. I don't want to be in the system. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be in none of those numbers. Killed. Like, I don't want that. So I'm like, okay, just stay calm, make it home. 2 words, 2 sentences like that. Like, stay calm, make it home. So I'm sitting there, and then next thing you know, the cop, you know, it comes back into the car, and it's like, shut up, don't say anything. And I'm trying to talk to him. Shut up, you can't, no, you guys are going to jail today. And then more cops show up. And I think that's what really saved me. More cops show up. More squad cars start rolling through because they're like, okay, you got them, but you're not taking them away. Why are you not taking them away? Because more people show up. And then one of the cops that showed up was black.
Oh, thank
So when this cop, I later found out that it was like kind of new or something like that. He was still like a rookie, or I don't know what it was.
Trying to make his numbers.
And he had some book in his hand. So I don't know what he was reading in his hand or some book that he was looking at.
Checklist. Check the checklist.
He was like, okay, we need to make sure that these are the right people before we take them in, you know? So they started making calls. They started doing more research right there on the spot. I'm like, okay, I know I didn't steal anything, so y'all got to figure this out, and I got to go. So it took like maybe 3 hours before they sorted everything out.
Did you miss your flight?
Keep in mind, yes, that flight was out of there.
That was a no-brainer. I
was
knew
like-
that was gonna happen.
I had to sleep in the airport so I can catch the flight the next day. It was terrible. But you know what? I didn't go to jail. I made it home.
made it
You know what I'm
home,
saying? So
yep.
that was my experience. And just think about that. Like, that's just one immigrant's experience in this country. I didn't even grow up here. Imagine someone here that had been here like since they were born. This is their experience. This is going on, man. Like, it's not something that America can gloss over anymore. It's happening.
Yeah.
It needs to be talked about. Laws and things needs to be changed to stop this from happening to people. Like, it's real. These experiences are real. I know that I have some, friends on my Facebook that are not really African American. They're white or whatnot. This is not their experience. But what's happening now is like, I'm seeing more people willing to listen to African Americans about this.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what's changed. You know, this movement that's going on right now, this is the biggest
The biggest.
Civil
what do you
rights.
call it? Civil rights movement
Yeah.
ever
We're
in
tired.
history.
We're done.
You know, so people are showing their frustration. Not only black people, but white people are coming out
who
now.
are protesting.
Are
Yeah.
protesting now
Yeah.
because they're realizing like, okay, this is real. Like, this stuff is not a joke. This police brutality thing is not just like a small. We're not making this up. It's not a made up story.
Have
like,
you guys started getting the
this is
texts
real.
and the calls from your non-black coworkers and friends checking on you,
Yeah.
asking what they can do and everything?
Yeah.
No, negative.
I've got some supportive messages. Hey, I'm sorry you have to go through this and things like that. So, but change is definitely needed, and this is an eye opener for the whole world.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. And what do we say to those people that still think, the hashtag that's going around when we say Black Lives Matter,
That think it's racist.
and they think I don't know what they're
They think
thinking.
it's racist.
You know,
against
like,
other
how do
people
we?
that-
What do we
Yeah,
explain to
they
those
say
people? How do
all
we
lives-
explain this
they
to
say all
the people that
lives
are
matter, yeah.
that don't think Black Lives Matter? I understand all lives matter, but like when we say
That's what-
Black Lives Matter, I don't think some people don't quite
They don't
understand.
get it. They
You know,
Yeah.
So my question is, do you think there's anything we're gonna say today that's gonna change what that person is thinking? Because I feel like there's research out there,
Enough evidence,
there's
right?
a lot of things out there. Like I've heard, like when it first started, I went from explaining, if you have 3 kids, one of them gets injured, who do you give the bandage? This one or this one? We've talked about if the house is burning on the street, who does the firefighter focus on? The house burning on every other house.
Yeah.
So like it's just at a point you just have, I guess there's different school of thought, right? There's the one that says educate. There's one that is, these people are set in their ways. They're not gonna go away from it. It has to, everybody, there's a proverb that goes, whenever you wake up, that's when your morning starts. That's when your day starts.
Yeah.
So there's some people who they're not yet there. Their consciousness is not there. Don't
Yes.
even waste that time. Instead, focus on the ones who want to be educated and run with them and tell them, okay, this is the struggle. This is
Yeah.
what it is.
I think everything has to be done with love, though.
Yes.
right?
Love is what's going to take the hate away. Racism is fuel and powered by hate. I grew up in a racist country, made fun a lot, being called the N-word almost every day.
I can only imagine.
And some of the people that were abusing me today are like my closest friends.
Wow.
See how things turn around. So like, as a victim, as the person in submission, you have to come out of it with love. I see a lot of angry folks, and they're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel because it's just angry. I think we need to fight this with love. This is saying, I'm saying this nonchalantly, but I think we really need to look ourselves in the mirror and love ourselves first. Love your brothers and sisters, and just let love overshadow racism.
You have something to say?
Nate is preaching.
I feel like
Nate is
on
over here
the issue
preaching
of
love, man.
I feel like theoretically it sounds really nice, and I feel like for Black people especially, love is what we put forward first, because it's kind of what you have to. Because if you're anything else, you get labeled as something,
Right.
Whether it's something very derogatory. What do you want to
Yeah,
say?
it's correct.
Yeah. So love is usually what Black people preach all the time. And if you think about things like maybe, let's say, interracial marriages, usually it's Black people that are the most forgiving of any other race.
Right.
And so if you've come forward every time with love, and every time you come forward with love, you're met with the same type of energy. Every time. It gets to a point, right? You hit a wall. If you think about a tank getting full, the tank is full right now. And going back to the issue of why is it George Floyd that's gaining all this press, in addition to what everybody else said, he's the most recent, and his death is the most gruesome that we've seen.
Right.
Yep.
Because you didn't just watch someone get shot, which is most of what we've been seeing. You get shot and you die.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so
It's not
instant.
trivial,
It's a
but it's
slow-
instant. You got to watch the process of someone
Of
breathing,
someone
losing
dying.
life.
Yeah.
Someone
It
really
felt like
dying,
you felt,
right.
you felt his soul leaving him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so painful, and that's why people are saying it's been maybe 400 plus years post-slavery, post-slavery, and
And it's
still
still
really
happening.
nothing has changed.
When I say love, it's you gotta love yourself first.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
And
I
my
understand
biggest
that.
thing is stop calling yourself the N word.
So let me.
Love yourself coming from that 1st. Stop calling yourself derogatory word.
Okay.
If you can love yourself,
I agree.
And then it goes to your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
If we show unity
Yeah, we have to
first,
be
we
united.
can rise up together.
Together, yeah.
So this is
Let me just say, I understand loving yourself first, but I want to know, what does loving yourself, if every Black person loves themselves and stops calling themselves the N-word, what is that going to do for racism? How does that
People are
affect
still gonna
other
be
people,
racist.
You know,
other people's behaviors towards you, even if you do your part?
even if you do your part, well, I think it's very important to understand that you're not an N word, but you're a king and you're a queen, right? So that's gonna help me, as far as like empower
Kind
myself,
of rise above everything
rise
you're
above.
getting?
Yeah, there's a system made for us to fail, right? And as a Nigerian coming to America
Yeah.
from another country, I have a foundation where my family wants me to be successful.
Yeah.
They want me to be a doctor. They want me to be a lawyer, right? So I come to America, a system where I'm set to fail, yet I succeed. Why?
Right.
Because I have that foundation. Our brothers and sisters, our African American brothers and sisters, they don't have that
okay.
because of lack of love.
So let's
or lack of
so
system.
no, Nick.
don't
Let's
agree
let's
completely.
not go there. We're
don't
taking
agree
this
completely.
train is falling. The wheels are falling off. Don't say that. Do not say that. No, because we need to be careful when we say this. We start going into, when you say love, guess what you just said, that means it's you feeling superior than you started to.
Oh, no.
But we're starting to dabble into that. We're dabbling into muddy waters here. Let's not say that, because at the end of the day, it's this. Just like Pedro said, if you go back to history, look at the world, racism, colonialism, let's even take it back to the days of the Asian slave trade. Let's just go back to history. Every time it happens and we're so quick to love, we're so quick to sing kumbaya.
Yeah.
There have never been a time. Is there a time where you go to a Black, like even down to this day, you go to Africa, they're welcoming.
Oh, yeah.
Even the
If you're white in Africa, you're
even
a
the
king.
Indians
Yeah.
Indians, the native Indians in America welcome the people who came and took their land away from them. That was love.
Big facts.
So everything was love. So
I like that.
So when you say love yourself, where are we going with this? Then let's even leave that cake. Let's leave that cake to bake. Now you're going to the fact where you say, oh, the N word. Here's the thing, right? I can call my sister foolish. That doesn't mean that my neighbor can call my sister foolish because we have that relationship. We have that pet names. Like there's some things my father can tell me he can get away with. Trust me, my neighbor is not gonna get away with it. So that's where the N word comes in. At the point, you can kind of say like we've kind of desensitized the word in the sense that the millennials now, even nowadays, funny enough, I was listening to something this week when even the white people are calling themselves man. Because
they'll say not the ER. They will specify not the ER, the A.
You can say we're doing that because of the rap and everything, and maybe in a way it doesn't have the same connotation that it has before. But here's the thing: if you go down south, somebody calls you. It's all in the context. Like I could tell you, like you can say the right thing at the right thing at the wrong time. So if you go down south and somebody call you, you have to check. Okay, what's going on here? And you know when this is the ER versus the A, right?
I feel like
Interesting point.
I feel like especially if anyone who is not black calls you a N-word with an A or with an ER, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
But that's why I say it just so depends. Just for example, your wife calls you baby or honey or love. Can I call you baby, honey or love?
Yes, I'm supposed to be straight up.
No, but I understand where Nate is coming from that. The word, it's the inception of the word. It was not meant to be positive. It may be or whatever. It is meant to be positive, but you don't want to share that positivity
with
someone else.
If an abuser was abusing you, it starts with baby and love. So we start dabbling into different things here, and when you now go back, I'm taking it piece by piece. Then when you now go to the fact that when you now
she should have been a lawyer.
When you now go into the structure and everything, guess what? We that came from Africa were blessed that we only had to deal with colonization, and that did not mess up. That messed up with our psyche.
Leaders.
That messed up with our psyche. But guess what? People here, you're dealing with people who have dealt with slavery.
This conversation looks like it's not gonna end today.
Imagine a system built to have you fail. Do you know why they didn't vote for Hillary Clinton? Why black people didn't come out to vote for her?
To be continued.
Because of the bill her husband signed. He started the mass incarceration of black men. So if you don't have the same system tell you, oh, you don't have the family support, but guess what? All your fathers are in jail. So you can't really say we're blessed. We have our fathers, but you can't. No.
Sorry.
All right,
we have
Doris.
to continue this episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2.
We'll have to continue episode 2.
So be continued.
This was our debut first episode, man.
So I wanna there's a documentary on Netflix. I didn't finish it. I have to. It's called 16 Shots. You guys need to watch this.
16 shots?
Yes.
16 shots.
There's also 13.
13, yeah.
Go see 13.
13 shots too?
No,
there's
13.
just 13.
Just 13.
And
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, there's 13. I think there's 5 of that. I'll send you. There's 5 things on
I need
Netflix
to
that would
see
help you.
Can you give me
We
your
could also
password?
put it on our social media.
My password.
Well, I want to thank all our wonderful hosts and our special host today, Dr. Nate.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us some insights, and we look forward to the second episode where we'll be talking with Janet Sampson, an event planner and a nurse.
Correction. The Janet Sampson episode is actually the first episode. This is the introductory.
This is just
This is the warm up.
This is so good, I forgot.
Yeah, this is the teaser right here.
Teaser, but our first episode is June 20th with Janet Sampson. She's a wedding planner and a nurse by profession.
And she's a singer too.
Yes, awesome singer.
Yeah.
So we look forward to chatting with her.
Yoo-hoo.
All right, and that's it.
That's it.
all
That's a
right.
wrap.
That's it, guys. Thank you.
9
for
to
joining
5
us.
casual. We
9 to
out.
5 casual.
We're out.